Hey guys, welcome back. In today's episode, we will be constructing a N-JFET amplifier with shunt feedback. And here is the circuit for this. So here you can see we have already created one N-JFET amplifier in last episode. The difference from that, here we have a feedback capacitance. And similar to the last episode, we will be using a sinusoidal small signal waveform at the input, and we will measure the output across a load resistance. So let's construct the circuit. For constructing the circuit, we'll go and open the LTspice. Here is the LTspice icon. Let me double click to open the LTspice. You can see the software interface has opened, and let me go to the new schematic button and click it. You can see the new circuit dashboard has opened. Now we have to save this file. I'll go to File, then Save As, and let me give a name here. So we are saving the file with the name N-JFET Amplifier with Shunt Feedback. I'll click Save to save the file. As I click Save, you can see at the left corner here the name of the file is displaying. So let us construct the circuit. At the heart there will be a N-JFET. So let us pick it first. From the components, I'll go to the N-JF. It is a generalized schematic for N-type JFET. So let me place it. So here I place it. I right click to vanish it. Now I'll zoom out a bit so that I can see the entire canvas where we will be constructing the circuit. So let me first put the resistances. We will be having one resistance in series with the drain and one with the source. And here there will be another resistance. Finally, at the output, there will be one load resistance. And while we give the small signal input, we will have one input resistance. So let me click Ctrl+R from the keyboard. It rotates the direction of the resistance. And here I pick the resistance, I place it, and I right click to vanish it. In series, I have to put a capacitor. Let me click Ctrl+R, and here is the capacitor symbol, and let me click place it. I need to put one capacitor here as a shunt. Again, I need to rotate it. So here I'll put the shunt capacitor, and parallel to the resistance connected to the source, we'll be having another capacitor. So let me put it here. And here from where we will be taking the output, there will be again a series capacitance to filter out the DC. So we have to rotate it. I press Ctrl+R, and from here we get the rotated capacitor and we place it here. Let me right click to vanish it. I think most of the components are placed here already. What we remaining is the 2 voltage. Before that, we have to check anything is missing. No, nothing is missing. So let me hit V from the keyboard. So here there will be a input voltage source, which will be a small signal AC, and here at the output side we will be having another DC voltage source, which will be used for the biasing here, and this will be DC. I right click to vanish it. Now let me hit W from the keyboard. I'll connect the different interconnection. Let me connect the drain resistance, the resistance with the source, and I have to create the ground line. So I connect the point here, go downwards, bend rightwards up to this point and go up and connect it. Our ground line is ready. Let me connect the resistors and capacitors, the ground line one by one. Here you can see we have connected. Now I have to connect the input, the resistance, that is the input resistance, and the capacitance filter out any DC component going for amplification. And now let me connect the shunt capacitor here, through which the feedback is going in, and here the gate resistance we have connected. Now here I'll go right, and here come downwards and connect. So the resistance with the drain is connected with the VDD now. It's time to connect the output. So let me connect this, connect, go to this point, come downwards and connect. Now the load resistance is connected. Only connection remaining here, this capacitor. Let me connect it. I right click to vanish it. I go ahead and save the circuit. The basic structure is almost ready, except we have to place the ground. Here I place the ground, right click. I wear this ground with the ground line. I right click to vanish it. I save the circuit. Here the placeholders are done. I have to padding here as input. Type of the padding is input. I click OK and I place it here. Again I have to place another padding at the output, and port type is output. So I'll go ahead and pick the output. I right click to vanish it. This is a good practice to put the pads here, because whenever you are constructing a circuit, the port should be labeled where you are giving the input and the output, and that makes the diagram very much neat. Now all the placeholders are there. We have to one by one rename them. So this is RI. I give OK, and RI means, rather we can give a name RIN, so that it makes meaningful name, and I will give the value here as 50. Next we have the capacitor. I name it C in. I click OK, and here I give the value of 1 micro. I click OK. So this is the capacitor C shunt. I'll give the name as CS. H I give the name, and for the value I will give it the value of 0.01 micro. So click OK. Here is the gate resistance, so I give the name RG, and its value will be 500 ohm. And here it is RS, that means it is connected with the source, and we give the value to it as 1.5 K. And here it is RD, this resistor is connected with the drain, and the value here is 3.3 K, that is 3.3 kilo ohms. And here is the capacitance used as the output. So this is written as CO, and I give the value here as 1 micro, is 1 microfarad. And here we have a capacitor, so let me name it, as it is connected to the source, S, and the value here I give as 10 micro. I'll click OK. Now remaining is load resistance, so I give the name R load. I click OK, and the value of load resistance I give as 22 K, that is 22 kilo ohms. I save the circuit. Now heart of the circuit is a N-JFET. We have to pick a model, so I right click and go to pick new JFET. Here you can see model 2N3819. So I pick that and I click save. Now the things remaining as the two input and the output voltage. The output voltage, or rather the biasing voltage, I can say, on the output side or connected to the drain side, I will name it as VDD. I'll click OK, and the voltage I'll set as 20 volt. I'll give OK. So here it is done. Now let me configure this input voltage, and this will be a small signal AC. So I'll right click here, I go to advanced, and here I go to sine. Here I'll give 0 as DC offset. Amplitude I give as 100 millivolt, frequency I give as 1 kilohertz. Okay. And this is how we set the input small signal sinusoidal wave. I click OK and let me go and save it. Now, as a schematic construction, the circuit looks okay. I have to check its construction from SPICE netlist. So I go to this view and then the SPICE netlist option. Here, let me check the components. Here we can see the N-JFET is there, RD is there, RS is there, RG is there, R load is there, R in is there, C in is there, CSH is there, CS is there, O is there. Input is a small signal sine wave, and VDD as the biasing voltage. We have the models here and the .lib/pi. So everything looks okay here in this SPICE circuit. So let me close it. We save this. Now to this circuit, we have to add two things. One, we have to do the transient analysis. For that, we have to add a tran command. And before that, we have to do the initial DC analysis. For that, we have to put a .ic. So let me put the .ic first. Here I give the .ic command. Here I'll click here and put it. Next, I'll go to the SPICE command again. I write .tran. And I give it here. So let me fit to the screen. Now I right click on the tran command. Here I have to give the values. Here I give 2 millisecond and the stop time. The start time is 0 and the time step we give as 10 microseconds. So you can see that the transient command is constructed here through these inputs: the stop time, the start time, and the time step. I click OK to save the transient command. Then finally I save the circuit by clicking the save button icon. Let me click to fit and everything is okay. Now it's time to simulate the circuit. So I'll go and here I will click on the run simulation button. Here in the right hand side the circuit is here, the waveforms will be there. Let me click it to fit to screen. I think everything is okay. And here we have the input. So let me click input first. Here comes the input. Let me hit B from the keyboard so that another pin comes out at the bottom. And here let me click on the output. Let me click on the save button. Let me bring on the on-screen marker here. So here you can see the input small signal AC is having the 100 millivolt peak-to-peak voltage. Here it is also 100 millivolt. It is minus 100. So the peak voltage is this. Once it is amplified, we can see there is a phase shift here with respect to the input voltage, and there is an amplitude difference. And here we can see the peak is reaching up to the 600 millivolt, whether this or this. So in either side of swing, initially there is a little less, but if we go further, it is okay. So we can see the output voltage is amplified with respect to the input voltage as a AC swing. So the construction of an amplifier to the N-JFET looks okay to us, and the input signal just here is getting amplified here across this load resistance. So the purpose of constructing the N-JFET with the shunt feedback amplifier is served. That means the purpose is achieved, and we have successfully constructed a N-JFET amplifier with shunt feedback, and we have done the transient analysis with a small signal AC voltage as the input, and the output we have analyzed the input voltage and the output voltage and their level of difference, and the amplifier is amplifying the signal at the input successfully. So we are done here. Thank you very much for watching up to this point, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. In case you have some dislikes, put that as in comments in the comment section down below, and bye for today.